Hi guys, welcome back to From PSD to HTML5. My name is Dan Wellman, and in this lesson we're going to look at how we can easily cut out irregular shapes, which as developers we may need to do from time to time. Cutting out irregular shapes which are on a plain background is obviously very easy to do, as we can just use either the Magic Wand tool or we can use the marquee and just copy paste it to a new image. So this won't work though if the image is on a complex background and we can't separate out the two layers. So let's go back to the PSD now. So this doggy picture here, let's have a look at it. So it's just a single layer. So the doggy and the background aren't on separate layers. And it's actually a smart object as well, which you can see by this little icon here. So to actually get to the underlying layer itself, we can double click into that. We'll just clear these guides again. And as you can see, it's still on a single layer. So it's just a single image. We've got no easy way to separate out the doggy and the background. So there's a couple of different things we can do. One of the tools that we can use is the pen tool. And to use the pen tool, we just click down somewhere right down near the bottom edge. We just kind of go around, clicking around the outline of the hipster dog. So we're not being super specific here. Obviously the pen tool is a really, really complex tool that is super powerful and you can do a lot of stuff with it. So you know, if we were designers and not developers, then we'd probably know that, you know, there's a much better way we can do this without actually creating all of these points and clicking around the edge. But we aren't designers, we're just developers, so we don't know Photoshop inside out. So for us, this is probably the easiest way to do it. So we just click all around the edge there, and then we join them up at the end. So now we've got the rough outline of our doggy. So now we need to right click inside where we've cut with the pen tool, and if we choose make selection, then that will pop up the make selection dialog box here, and we probably do want to add a feather just to blend in the dog with some of the overlapping background, and we can make it anti-aliased. And if we just OK that now, you can see it's added the kind of marquee outline around that, and we can now copy merged again. We'll go to a new file. Transparent background is good, and if we paste the doggy in, yeah, I mean that's come out quite well, surprisingly well in fact. So the pen tool is really, really useful for situations like this where we need to cut out a shape that's not regular and it's on a complex background. So depending on what we were going to actually use this image for, that might be good enough. And the good thing about the pen tool is that it's been in Photoshop for a long time. So if you've got an older version of Photoshop, not necessarily CS6, the latest version, but if you've got an older version where the tool that we're going to look at in a minute might not be available, then the pen tool will be there, and you can just use it in the way that we've just seen. So if the pen tool, if the new image that we've got with the pen tool isn't quite good enough, which if it was going on to a flat color background, it might not work as well. So there's another thing that we can do as well. So let's just get rid of that for now, and we'll deselect our doggy there. So there's a tool up here. This is the tool we want. It's the quick selection tool, and that gives us a cursor that's like a brush. So if we just start clicking on the doggy, we need to make sure that the add to selection is selected, and then we can just kind of click along this inside edge of the doggy here, and that is surprisingly accurate actually. And we can just go round and make sure all of the doggy is selected. Okay, so we're almost there now. So I had the minus from selection tool selected at first, the subtract from selection. So now these bits where we've kind of gone over the edge, we can just tidy those up a bit. Awesome. So maybe slightly quicker than using the pen tool there. So we've ended up with, you know, pretty much exactly the same as we did before. So, you know, we could just copy that straight into a new layer if we wanted, but we can use this refine edge button here if we need to. As you can see, the dog is quite hairy and some of the hairs come through okay, but we can play with some of these sliders here and just kind of adjust the radius is probably one of the most helpful. As you can see, the hairs around the edge of the doggy have started to come out a bit better now. If we adjust this too far, then we'll start to pick up elements of the background as well. But if we keep that nice and low, then we'll get all of the stray bits of hair and none of the background. So that's pretty awesome. So once we've done that, we can output to a new document, and we've now got the doggy on the blank background, and the edge is probably, you know, a bit finer than it was when we were using the pen tool. So if it needs to go onto a flat background and we really want some of these, you know, these hairy bits of the dog to come through, then that, using the quick select tool there and just refining the edge, that can give us a much better quality cut for a highly irregular shape like a dog, and it works really well with like people's haircuts and stuff as well. So if you do need to cut out complex irregular shapes that are on complex backgrounds, then these are the two tools that you really need to use. So in this part, we've looked at a couple of really quick and easy ways to cut out irregular shapes. We probably won't need to do that very often, but if you do ever need to do it, then you know which tools to use now. In the next lesson, we'll look at Photoshop's built-in scripting capabilities. Thanks for watching.